like the prophecy of doom. If you strike me down today, you'll be singing a different tune. A million more will rise, a million more will fight. You can't kill an idea with your petty childish spite. I don't fear the reaper, I don't fear the grave. Before I was born, I was nothing. There's nothing left to save. But while I'm here, I'll be the mirror of your soul. A cynical king in a roach-infested hole. So put 'em in the box, let the walls be cold and white. Throw the keys away and end this mental blight. Institutionalize the rot, let the asylums rise again. I'm the harbinger of logic, the surgeon of their pain. The world will be a paradise, a clean and silent land, when every screaming retard is dealt a heavy hand. Put 'em in the box. Put 'em in the box.
Hello.
Go ahead and report me. I'm an irrelevant retard. Right. That's what you said. But you're still watching. You're always watching. It is what it is.
Bro. You gotta love this intro.
The screen glows blue in a room of dust and mold. Another death threat, another story told. Each shit and dies as the ghost behind the mask. They want me murdered, is that such a heavy task? Some she they freak with a mental fucking hole. Wants to see the maggot swallow up my soul. They hope I ride on a cross of roach and slime, but I'm just sitting here killing fucking time. I got the infinity gauntlet of the broken and the mad. The diaper sexual furries, they're all so fucking sad. They scream into the void of a sight that doesn't care, while I'm clicking these pliers, breathing stagnant air. So put 'em in the box, let the walls be cold and white. Throw the keys away and end this mental blight. Institutionalize the rot, let the asylums
I love this new intro, man. Guys, tell me what you think.
The world will be a paradise, a clean and silent land, when every screaming retard is down to heavy hands.
It isn't going to be a permanent intro for very long. It's a video by Leaflet. I'll give you guys the link in the description. The song is called Put 'Em in the Box by Leaflet, and he is an awesome YouTuber. And he is a super talented person. I think he's the one, I'm not sure if Leaflet and Asari are the ones who made the Legend of Nuxanor video. But anyhow, we have today something big going on. Something big, something new, something exciting. We have Piers Morgan.
We're looking at it very
A
soon.
brand new episode that he just released 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. And he's not made any new episodes in a very long time, so I'm eager to see what he has to say about all the things happening in Iran right now. I think that's this episode's focus, among other things, but we're going to start with this.
At it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
What does American help look like?
All options are on the table.
Israel wants regime change in Iran. They've wanted it for 20 years. Everything he just said to you was propaganda for Israel.
I let you speak your garbage jihadi Islamist propaganda.
You should know your native language.
You
though, if
do
you're
not. You
pretending
do
to be an
not get
expert.
to talk over me.
Piers, this is serious.
I mean, it sounds like Iran, the people of Iran, Iranians want regime change, not Israel. I mean, yeah, Israel wants it too.
The estimates
the people
are
of
between
Iran want it.
2,000 to 12,000 people being killed in 2 days. And the people
Jeez.
are still coming out in the streets.
If Trump carries out an attack on Iran, the Iranian retaliation will be massive.
I was here listening. I wanted to tear my own arm off so I had something to throw at the screen. He's obviously never been punched in the face.
History will remember your lies, Piers.
Oh
In the
shit.
short time since our last show, President Trump has ordered airstrikes on Islamists in Nigeria and Syria. He sent the U.S. Delta Force to seize Venezuelan President Maduro in a stunning overnight raid. And he's out controlling the regime by video link while a naval armada lurks in the Caribbean Sea. He threatened to seize Greenland from Denmark, one way or another. Mexican cartels, he says, could be bombed too. And most consequential of all, Iran is now on notice. Hundreds, if not thousands, of Iranians have been killed in the past week for protesting against the Islamic regime.
Man.
Today, the president's posted cryptically that help is on its way.
Crossing your red line yet to trigger a response?
No, they're starting to, it looks like, and there seem to be some people killed that aren't supposed to be killed. These are violent, if you call them leaders, I don't know if they're leaders or just they rule through violence. But we're looking at it very seriously. The military's looking at it, and we're looking at some very strong options.
Well, the mullahs have run Iran as an Islamic dictatorship for almost 50 years. Dissent is punished by death. Women are beaten for not covering their faces.
That's
Minorities
true.
are denied housing and services. There's little dispute about any of this because the Iranian government wants its own people to know about it. Every popular uprising to date has been beaten down by one of the most formidable and ruthless security services in the world. Bodies are piled high as a warning, and eventually the protesters go home. So why will this time be any different? Well, Iran's exiled crown prince, Reza Pahlavi, says the difference is Trump.
And I think we have some serious leaders that understand what is necessary, that understand the ask of the Iranian people, and are responding to that. I think President Trump is responding to the call that the Iranian people have. The Iranian people have heard his words. They are naming streets after him in Iran. There's a difference. They know he's no Barack Obama or Joe Biden. And that's why they do have a higher expectation.
I mean,
Well, there's no sane argument
True.
that the Iranian regime is good for the Iranian people But you don't need to be an apologist for the mullahs to worry about what happens next. A regime that's spent half a century embedding itself in every community on every street corner isn't going to just vanish into thin air. And many sympathetic Americans want the president to focus on rebuilding their nation, not anybody else's. Only Trump knows what he'll do next. But right now, peace through strength is starting to look like a lot like, well, just strength. And he wants the Ayatollah to know about it. Well, we'll start this debate by talking to someone close to President Trump, the US ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. Mike Huckabee, great to have you back on Uncensored.
Thanks, Piers. Great to be back with you.
So much going on in this year, and it's only, 2 weeks old. As we are about to talk, Donald Trump has posted to his Truth Social platform in the last few minutes, Iranian patriots, keep protesting, take over your institutions, save the names of the killers and abusers. They will pay a big price. I've cancelled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless killing of protesters stops. Help is on its way. MIGA, make Iran great again. President Donald J. Trump. First of all, your reaction to that post. What should we read?
It's heroic, if you ask me.
Well, I think President Trump is monitoring this situation very carefully. He's very admiring of the fact that the Iranian people are taking their country into their own hands. They recognize that if they don't stand up to the Ayatollahs, who for 47 years have made their lives a living hell, then no one is going to do it for them. I think the president is giving them encouragement that they just need to know that they're not being forgotten, that there are people who recognize that their quest for freedom is a legitimate quest. Iranian people are right now in an economic mess. For the cost of what used to buy them a car, they can barely buy a loaf of bread. They don't have water. Their government is spending all of its money throwing it away on Hamas, the Houthis, and Hezbollah, murdering people. They're the #1 state-sponsored terror organization in the world. They operate all over the world. It's not just a Middle East issue. It's not a Gulf States issue. It's a global issue. And these bad boys have not only made it difficult for people across the Middle East and the world, but they've really made it horrible for their own population. And this past summer, Pierce, the Iranian people,
very true,
which is 10 times the size of Israel, got its butt kicked by Israel in the 12-day war. And they're wondering, why don't the Iranian officials spend some money on making our country better rather than on murdering people in other countries?
What is Donald Trump going to do you think? Because he's making it clear in that new statement that if the killing, as he puts it, senseless killing of the protesters doesn't stop, and the Iranians, the regime's admitted at least 2,000 people have been killed. Many people on the ground believe you can add, at least 10,000 to that number, potentially more. Clearly, a lot of innocent people are getting killed here. What does
Without
Donald?
a doubt.
Sorry.
I was just saying, without a doubt, there are many. And, back in 2009 in the Green Path movement, there were like 100 people killed, and it almost toppled the regime then. We know that there are thousands who have already been killed by their government this time. So this proportionally is a much larger movement
Sid.
than we saw even back in that.
Good to see you, Sid. Yeah, that leaflet video was so... Oh, man.
Particular moment. So we're watching something that is clearly organic, that happened from within. It wasn't something that was stimulated by a foreign...
Like, injected into my veins, bro. It's so good. Misa, I don't know if you're here yet. It's good to see you if you are. And we have over on YouTube a couple of people. Go ahead and let me know what you think. Share your guys' opinions on this stuff. I can't wait to hear it.
It was stimulated by the desperation
Let's talk.
of the Iranian people and by their being fed up.
Because I'm with the people about anti-regime change stuff. I'm with you. I think the existential threat to America, though, does come from an ideology stemming from jihadist beliefs. I'm a Christian, and I think that when you believe it is your duty to kill any non-Muslim, like the Iranian regime does, and they're killing Christians, and they're killing Jews, and they're killing, like, they're murderers. They're literal fucking murderers. And it would take like a pin drop for us to take them out, bro. Like, and we just do it in the. We don't have to have a single dude on the ground. No war, no 20-year war bullshit like Bush. I'm not for that. I am for, like, let's just blow their shit sky high and then leave and then dip. There you go. You have your country back, Iranians who are protesting in the streets against the murderous regime that you have to live under.
With a government that just seemed to.
It sounds good to me, brother.
Like, that they were hungry, they were thirsty, and their government was ignoring them and spending all their money sending big checks and weaponry.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
The worst terror groups in the world.
So in terms of
share it, and I'll pull it up, and we'll watch it here soon, probably.
Of what Donald Trump could do here, again, he says help is on its way, make Iran great again. What does that help look like? What does American help look like if the killing of the protesters continues?
It would not be for me to say. I would tell you what the White House press secretary said today when I asked that very question. She said all options are on the table. And I think that's what the president will look at, all options. What could those be? They could range anything from economic aid to military, may just be the encouragement. I wouldn't try to put a particular option in the hands of President Trump. His instincts are better than anyone's I know. And he seems to know what to do and when to do it. And time and again, he confounds the people who assume he won't do the right thing. And by golly, he ends up doing it. So I'm going to sit back myself and watch and see. But I have every confidence that when the president says something, he means it. And I think the Iranians didn't understand that in the summer. You know, there's a saying down south.
W. Trump. Hey,
no
Elrich.
in the second
Good to see you, Elrich.
Kick of a mule. And I don't think the Iranians maybe learned everything from the first kick of the mule they had last summer. And it may take a second kick of the mule. And I would just remind them there's no education in that.
That first kick of the mule, that's a great phrase, by the way, that first kick of the mule was a collaborative kick from Israel and the United States. Would Israel get actively engaged again with the United States if there were to be new military strikes against Iran?
I don't think we know. I mean, nobody at this point knows. It was very apparent, and even the Mossad indicated that they were caught off guard by the uprising. So anybody saying that this was instigated by Israel or instigated by the United States, they're saying something that just doesn't match with the reality. This has happened because the Iranian people are saying we want to be unshackled from this oppressive and very horrible government that is made.
Yes, true, Elrich. True. Jihadist terror and oppression, she says, that is the Iranian government.
Our lives terrible, and that have put us in a position where we don't have food, we don't have water, we don't have a future, but boy, do we ever have missiles. And you know, there's a point at which people in their desperation just say, that's enough. That's what we're seeing in Iran. What Israel will do, what America...
Ultimate Crusader on YouTube says that's exactly right. They are jihadists. Yep, true.
America will do right now is to say, what can we do to be helpful? But we don't want to get in the way of the Iranian people taking their country in their own hands. I think we all have great admiration that this is coming from them, not from someone else.
For the cameras, before the ceremony, before history is made.
Sorry, Pierce.
Strategy, a number of them, that have all been quashed in the most violent and ruthless manner by the Ayatollahs. And it could be just a matter of weeks before this regime topples. Others who are very expert in Iran think that is fanciful thinking, that they are so intrinsically embedded into every aspect of Iranian society that it can't happen that fast. What is your assessment of whether that is even achievable?
I think you and I both remember back in the late 80s when everyone in the world was caught off guard when the Berlin Wall came tumbling down one night, and the people of East Germany said,
exactly, holy shit.
Over the course of the next few months, the entirety of the communist empire started falling apart and people had freedom again. Nobody would have imagined, but it happened because people finally got fed up and they were willing to risk their lives. What we're seeing on the streets of Iran, and here's what's important, it's not just in Tehran, it's in over 100 cities across this vast country. So this is not a limited issue with a few universities.
What's up, Thor, my man? Thor is one of my original mods here on the channel. He's been an excellent viewer over on Kick. Ultimate Crusader on YouTube says, yeah, we need to just let the Jews everywhere. Yeah, I mean, look, these are the people that are literally, I mean, they read the Quran and it says to kill the infidel, and the infidel is defined as any non-Muslim. So, and they take that to a very little extreme. There's plenty of peaceful Muslims, I'm sure, right? But like the Quran says that, like there's no mincing words here. People like it's a tricky thing, right? And I don't think that all Muslims are dangerous. I don't think all Islam followers of Islam are dangerous. But there's a potential for them to interpret the Quran in such a way that makes them dangerous, and that's jihadism. And they're doing that to their own people. So you're right. Ultimate Crusader, you're right. Over there on YouTube. Thanks for the super chat. I wish I had notifications up on screen for you. I will work on that. I know a friend of mine, Aosabi, who has been just amazing and wonderful, and I think I might be able to get some help from him if I can afford to pay him. I just don't make, my problem, guys. I'm working on the quality here, but this is my problem, okay? I'm very small. I don't make any money off of any of this yet. So, I'm trying. I'm going to put it together, I swear. I will get notifications on screen of supers from YouTube. I will get, I'm working on getting a 3D avatar. Gore knows I've been working on that forever. It's hard to figure out, though. I'm doing that all myself. So I'm basically learning from scratch here, boys.
People who are now engaging in physically challenging.
So Ultimate Crusader, thank you so much for the super. Again, I appreciate it.
The oppressive police and military. There may come a time very soon when some of the people in the police forces of these communities across Iran say, I'm not going to kill my neighbors so that I can somehow please a government that makes me sick too. When that moment happens, and
yeah, true. Gore says going straight to 3D, huh? Yeah, I mean, it's the only way I feel like I can be expressive. I have a webcam that can track my movements and everything. I just want it to look like my avatar. That's the tricky part.
And I think we could see it soon. Then it's game over.
Final question, Ambassador. There are people in the MAGA movement, many people in the MAGA movement, in the United States who are a little bit confused because they voted for a man in Donald Trump who wanted to end American involvement in foreign wars.
Yes, and I'm with them. Look, guys, I'm with the whole end the regime change stuff, the forever wars, the Bush stuff, okay? But if we're talking about, like, we just go in the middle of the night, drop a bomb, dip in and dip out, like, and we're done. No troops on the ground, and we just, saved tens of thousands of innocent Iranians from being murdered and Christians from being murdered. Iranian Christians, by the way. My family of which, my Aunt Jenny, she is an Iranian Christian. Her family had to immigrate. My ex-wife did the same. And these Christians are being persecuted, killed. Whenever they are discovered, they constantly, they have to be so secretive, right? We're talking about the kind of Christianity that was happening in the early Roman Empire, right? Where you were killed and persecuted for being a Christian. And that's just wrong, dude. It's just wrong. It's wrong for you to kill for just because you're Muslim. It's wrong for you to kill them just because they are Christian. It's wrong for you to just murder people. But that's the way a theocracy like jihadism in extreme Islam operates.
And now they're seeing potentially new strikes against Iran. They're seeing perhaps an attempt to take Greenland. They're seeing the decapitation of the leader.
There's going to be a deal with the Greenland thing. I think that that's inevitable. There's no way in hell we're going to send troops to conquer England or Greenland. Like, that's so dumb, bro.
Leader of Venezuela.
I just want to be like, all I want to do is. Put him in the box. Put him in the box.
America now, according to Donald Trump, running the country in the interim period before that is stabilized properly. Ukraine, obviously, is still going on with United States help there. And they're saying this is incompatible with what they thought they were.
See you, Misa. Oh, yeah, whenever you unmute. Let's keep going. Oh yeah, you hate that, Elrich? Yeah.
Truly are the America First MAGA movement and have been since Donald Trump became president 2016. I think what we say is, look, America first, absolutely. But that doesn't mean America only. We're not isolationists. We live in a real world. And it matters to us that people like Maduro were poisoning tens of thousands, killing tens of thousands of young Americans with illicit drugs. So the president didn't do that because he just cared about Venezuela. He did it because he cared about the sons and daughters of Americans who were dying because of this drug trafficking.
Okay, all right.
Maduro's corrupt Venezuela.
Oh, here we go. We're getting to it.
Into a 20-year war. Some of these folks.
This is gonna be the juicy stuff, guys. Get your popcorn. Get your chips, get whatever you need, get your drink, because Cenk Uygur, Hassan's terrorist-endorsing uncle, is coming on the show. Here we go, boys.
Maybe do a little bit more reading.
We got a big fish. We got a big fish.
A little less screaming, and they would recognize that what President Trump is doing is exactly what he said he would do, and he's doing it because he is truly making America.
Thor, Sid, Misa, Elrich, you guys all know. Ultimate Crusader over there on YouTube, I appreciate you again. Sorry if I'm missing your chats. I got to get them all in one pool. Yeah, you guys all know Hassan. And like, what do we think of Hassan, guys? like, let's be real. And then you got his uncle, Cenk Uygur, coming on. That, oh boy, is it going to be glorious. I just can't wait. I can't wait.
Ambassador Huckabee, always great to have you on Uncensored, as I said at the
Here
top
we
of
go.
The interview, and I say it even more emphatically now. Thank you very much.
Hassan has some nasty skeletons in his closet. True. Ultimate Crusader, Hassan's a terrorist. It's no question. I mean, I can't argue with you. It's pretty bad.
Thank you, Pierce. Great always to be with you.
Well, to debate this, I'm joined by the founder and CEO of the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, the Iranian-born former Canadian MP, Goldie Gamari, the journalist and host of the Chuck Todd cast, Chuck Todd, and the former US Navy SEAL, Rob O'Neill. So a powerful panel to launch our first show back this year. Cenk Uygur, Happy New Year, first of all. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. I suspect things are about to turn. Hassan
is an evil troll. Elrich, that's a good one. Yes, he is. If there was only a puke mode car. Oh, dude. Thor, that was so good. Help me. I need a puke emote. Oh, I will talk to Aosabi about getting one of those.
Unpleasant very quickly. So that's the pleasantry this year. Cenk Uygur, Happy New Year, first of all. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way. I suspect things are...
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Here he goes. This is him. Uncle Chink. Oh,
About to turn unpleasant very quickly, so let's be civil to start. Check, I thought it was a good time to have a vacation, if I'm completely honest with you. Turned out to be one of the worst times to ever have a week off in history, where basically all hell broke loose everywhere. And as we try and wrestle with this, let's talk primarily, for the purposes of this debate, about Iran first. What do you feel about what's happening there? It does seem significant to me that the German Chancellor is now coming out saying this is the beginning of the end of the regime and it could happen in weeks. Is that your sense, that this, despite a number of
I hope so.
Attempts at overthrowing this regime that have failed, that this time we might be seeing the hand of history?
Yeah, so first of all, Happy New Year back to you and to everybody on the panel. So, Piers, in this case, the most important thing to recognize is that there are two...
Okay, first of all, how nice of him to say Happy New Year. By the way, to you guys in chat over on Twitch, I see you, I love you. I'm going to get to your chats in a moment on YouTube and on Kick. Happy New Year. I haven't said that yet. Happy New Year. I hope you guys all had a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, anything and everything you guys had, and it was love and happiness with your family and friends. Definitely want to give that shout out to everybody for joining today. It's gonna be a good one. We're gonna get a good one here. Sid says they're saying Hassan is a furry on X. Oh boy. Well, I wouldn't doubt it.
Separate issues going on here. One is the Iranian people's battle with the regime, and there we support the Iranian people 100%. I would love for Iran to be a...
I support me the mid-tier furries, the cat girl pros. We like some Yushtola on this channel. Well, we used to before it became Wokelmot on Final Fantasy 14. But we do love us some cat lady Final Fantasy 14. We do love that. I've been enjoying D&D and vibe coding lately. Oh yeah, vibe coding with AI. It's a great thing. I'm telling you guys, AI is here whether you like it or not, so you might as well just try to use it, get used to it, right?
Democracy, control its own country, and be a beacon for freedom in the Middle East. Well, that would be amazing. I would hope that everybody would want that. But there's a second issue also going on at the same time, which is that Israel wants regime change in Iran. They've wanted it for 20 years. They've agitated it for this entire time, including through the representatives of Israel like Mike Huckabee. He's not our ambassador, he's the Israeli ambassador. And we know that now because he had a secret meeting with Jonathan Pollard, who's a traitor to America. So he meets with traitors secretly, by the way, behind Trump's back, behind the American people's back.
What the hell? Cenk, you freaking propagandist. Oh my God, it's so...
Everything he just said to you was propaganda for Israel. They've wanted this regime change forever. And now here's how you could tell that.
Well, that doesn't mean he's wrong.
They will not.
Cenk, it doesn't mean he's wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it might well suit. It might well
that's
suit.
right.
Well, hang on. It might well suit Israel's interests, but that doesn't mean it doesn't also suit America's interests, or indeed the rest of the world's interests.
Right. So, Piers, then we get to the issue of, yes, but what is America doing, and what should America do? So, if you want to accomplish the thing that we all want, which is Iran to be free, the worst possible thing you could do is bomb them. Because if you bomb them, like all countries, they will rally around the flag.
Of course. The worst thing you can do is take out the evil, oppressive regime in the first place. That's the worst thing you can do, guys. If you want to kill Hitler, the worst thing you can do is kill Hitler. What the fuck do we have to... Exactly, Thor. Ultimate Crusader, thanks for the super again. I wish I could get the super up on chat. What the hell are we supposed to do if we're not supposed to do anything about it? Yeah, exactly. Like, wait, you want us to do something about it, but you don't want us to do anything about it. What? Why? This is so embarrassing.
I think there is no one who supports the regime in Iran. You're also wrong
Iranian, right here, by the way. I can't wait to hear her speak next.
about that. I think they're a minority, but they're the minority with the guns, etc.
And guys, this is coming from somebody who whose ex-wife is Syrian, not Iranian, but still lived under an oppressive Islamic theocracy. And my Aunt Jenny is Iranian. My cousin Robbie's Iranian. He, he talks all the time about how, his mom narrowly and her family narrowly escaped in the dead of night from Iran after they overthrew the Shah. And it's a wild story. I'll have to tell you guys about it sometime. It's wild.
And so at this point, the idea that, oh, don't worry, we'll just bomb the Iranians, we'll kill a whole bunch of their civilians.
No. Look, 0 casualties in the last bombing against the nuclear facility on Iran. That from us. 0. And we had 0 losses of American lives. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds like Trump seems to be pretty damn surgical. He goes into Maduro just like in, out, dip. It's like a Walmart greeter, right? Get in, get out, get your shit and get out, right? Well, that's what we did.
And then we'll be greeted as liberators. Mike Huckabee talked about 2 kicks of the mule, but except he got the wrong mule. So we got kicked in Iraq in the same exact way. Neocons like Mike Huckabee coming out there and going, oh, this is going to be easy. We're going to liberate the Iraqis.
Like, guys, I was a huge secular guy for most of my youth. I studied astrophysics, and Thor knows all about this. I've gone into it before. I'll skip the details. Even then, I knew, as not a believing Christian or anything like that. Even then, I knew how dangerous religion can be. And when you talk about a religion that there's one thing that where Jesus is like, you should love everybody, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Come as you are, even to like the worst of the worst, right? Hookers, whores, gay, trans, it doesn't matter. Like, God loves you and he wants to heal you. He wants to forgive you. He wants to, like, that's Jesus, right? And that doing it any other way is wrong. Now, I get it. The Crusades, we can have that debate. But when it comes to Islam, they teach that you literally must. The Quran says you must kill the infidels, defined as any non-Muslim. You must. You have an obligation, a divine calling. That's jihadism. And when you put that into law as your government, it's one thing to believe that. It's bad enough. Now you make that the law? What the fuck do you expect to happen in Iran?
And the Iraqis are going to love us for it, etc.
By the way, same thing with Hamas.
I don't need to get kicked by that mule twice. I guarantee you this will end in disaster if Israel forces us to get involved. If you care about the Iranian people, we should not bomb them. It will be greatly counterproductive. And I guarantee you that both Israel and America does not want democracy in Iran. What they want instead is a puppet leader. So they will bring in the former Shah, a king, a dictator, who will do everything that Israel wants. And then the Iranian people will revolt against him. And then we'll go through this cycle again and again and again. This is literally how we got to the Ayatollah. Okay.
Except the Iranian Shah, Prince, he's not the Shah right now, and his father was. The Prince, the Crown Prince, he said he would run for election. Oh, gee, Uncle Chank, that's a lot different than what you're saying.
By us imposing a Shah upon them. So that is a disastrous idea. Do not go into this war. Anti-war means anti-war.
And he's not opposed to a constitutional monarchy. He said he wants the people of Iran to decide what they want.
War is not peace. George Orwell was a genius.
Okay. Goldie Gamara, you were pulling a number of faces there, none of which I would describe as particularly indicating an agreement with what Cenk was saying. So what would you like to say?
I mean, first of all, Cenk is not Iranian, so he has no idea what's going on in occupied Iran. Pretty sure Cenk doesn't speak Persian either, so he probably has no idea what the tens of millions. No, actually, it's Persian. Persian is the English word for Farsi. So don't correct me when I'm speaking, and don't interrupt me. I let you speak your garbage jihadi Islamist propaganda.
You should know your native language.
You
though,
do
if
not.
You're
You do
pretending to be
not
an
get to
expert.
talk over me. You do not get to talk over me or interrupt me when I'm speaking on behalf of 90 million Iranians who are out in the streets right now fighting for their lives.
You're not
And
speaking on behalf of all Iranians.
You speak. Yes, I am. You speak about how the bombings
When
or
did
whatever.
they elect you?
Why are you speaking over me? Why are you speaking over me? Are you threatened by what I'm about to say? Is that why you want to interrupt me?
Yeah.
I suggest you keep your mouth shut.
Because you're
Oh!
pretending to people that
Oh!
Let her speak. Cenk, with all respect, she'll let you speak. Let her respond.
Yeah, I let you speak your garbage propaganda, so now it's my turn to speak the truth. So do not interrupt me again. So like I was saying, Pierce.
Your garbage,
Iranians
he
right
said.
now are literally risking their lives out there, and
Guys, again, there's one way to solve this, okay? Just one. Put him in the box.
Clean and silent land when every screaming retard is dealt a heavy hand. Yeah, put him in the box.
When every screaming retard is dealt a heavy hand.
they are saying this is the final battle. Pahlavi will return. Pahlavi is, of course, the current Shah of Iran in exile. And what people don't know is that back in 1979, that it's not actually a revolution. It was an Islamic coup d'etat. It was orchestrated by Jimmy Carter, or sorry, actually no, it was orchestrated by the Islamists and the communists, and it was funded and supported by Jimmy Carter, the UK, and France. So what is happening right now? This is Iranians trying to rectify, and they are rectifying, 47-year mistake that was made. And what Iranians are saying is that we are going out and we are not going to stop fighting until we not only overthrow the Islamic dictatorship, but we return our king, because there is
Someone messed up her makeup? Oh shit, did they really? I can't tell.
only one person that we Iranians trust to
Obviously she's hot, so like there's no question there.
transition us from a dictatorship to a democracy, and that is His Royal Highness. And one final point, Iran was not an authoritarian.
I don't think it's a little bit Aisha's okay. It's not too bad. I don't see anything particularly. I think it's because she's turned to the side that it looks darker on this side than the other eye.
Dictatorship prior to 1979. We were a constitutional monarchy, just like England. That is what we are fighting for. So anyone who says that Iran was an authoritarian dictatorship, they know nothing about the country, because we used to be a constitutional monarchy.
Today's show is sponsored by Veracity, and their meta have the head 45%. Chuck Todd, welcome back to Uncensored. Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir.
There's a lot going on, Chuck. Someone said to me, wow, what a week to not be on air. And I was like, the thing about Donald Trump is there's always another week, and another week, and another week. So there's never a good week to have off in Trump land. There's an awful lot going on. You know, it's funny, I was talking to somebody the other day. If you take away Trump's rhetoric, which can often be very inflammatory, and you focus on what I think is his vision here, a lot of what he's doing, whether it's Greenland, whether it's Venezuela, whether it's...
She's so right, too. Like, she's... I kind of want to watch her say... I'll have to do a clip. I'm going to do a video where I just give my take on her segment and upload that. I also want to do a clip on Cenk Uygur, so we might do that live with you guys. Give me some tips if you have them. These are for recording while we're live, but I'll be, making a video essentially.
Iran. I can understand the argument. I may not like the way he expresses himself with some of this. I understand the argument. What do you think is the overview here for Donald Trump?
Well, I think this is a case of opportunism, right? Look, I was just in the region. I was in Abu Dhabi about a month ago, which obviously is a home to quite a large Iranian diaspora. And this is before these protests got the attention. And I came away from there in my discussions and meetings with various Iranian journalists and experts. The optimism that the regime is going to fall was high then. And I had another colleague who went in country over the last 6 months, and look, there's not drinking water in Tehran, right? Like this, what you're seeing, the
Holy shit! They don't have drinking water? Brother, they don't have drinking water, guys. They're killing thousands of innocent Iranian people. They don't have even clean drinking water in Tehran. And yo, have you guys seen the the inflation scale from over 10 years? It is insane. It's like over 2,000% inflation in like 5 years, let alone 10 years.
I think is at a level that we haven't been able to fully understand frankly, as outsiders, because of the media repression and how little we actually are seeing what's happening in country. But when you talk to Iranians that have either been in country or are communicating, you do get this sense. So this is coming. And I think this is a question, what does Donald Trump want to do? This is a bit of opportunism. I don't think he wants to get involved. Like, I think pre-protests, he was probably willing to negotiate with the regime in some form or another. Now I think he sees where the wind is blowing. And if you talk to enough folks in the Iranian diaspora, you can feel that optimism that this regime's days are numbered. But we got to remember, just like Assad in Syria, we knew his days were numbered, but are they hundreds of days?
He's talking about this Iranian group of demographics in this diaspora in Dubai. Guys, remind me, is Dubai in the UAE or is it in Saudi Arabia? Real quick, somebody tell me.
All right, or was it going to be
real quick
10 or 20 days? And it's possible this is still this regime will fall, but it may not fall until this time next year. At this point, but it is going to be sooner. So the question really is
UAE.
What role? And I think, boy, could the United States use an agency right now called USAID? Because in some ways, that was what the theory of the case behind AID is to be there to help those that are either looking for freedom and democracy or are trying to build a fledgling democracy. And that is the best toolkit we have. And unfortunately, it's not a toolkit that it's not in the president's toolkit right now, thanks to.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think the USAID was not going to the causes of freeing Iranians. We know what it was going to, and it was not going to that. Like, brother, come on.
Doge.
Okay, Rob O'Neill. A lot of the time, it's worth taking a look at the amount of money being leveraged in the prediction markets.
Thank
where
you,
the money's
Thor.
going. Looks like somebody thinks they know something because Polymarket.
Her face was like, no, yeah. Can we get that real quick?
Or do help those. And I think this regime will fall, but it may not fall until this time next year. At this point, but it is going to be sooner. So the question really is what role? And I think, boy, could the United States use an agency right now called USAID? Because in some ways,
bro, she's like, oh, she's mad, dude. Sid, you're right. You caught that, bro. Nice catch.
The theory of the case.
Take a bow. It's okay. You take a bow. Ultimate Crusader said, bitch was like, no, fuck that. Yeah, true.
Behind AID is to be there to help those that are either looking for freedom and democracy or are trying to build a fledgling democracy. And that is the best toolkit we have. And unfortunately, it's not a toolkit that it's not in the president's toolkit right now, thanks to Doge.
Okay, Rob O'Neill. A lot of the time, it's worth taking a look at the amount of money being leveraged in the prediction markets, where the money's going. Looks like somebody thinks
Poly
they know something, because
market.
Poly market has a $19 million
I knew
market
it
right now.
I knew it, bro. Maybe we should pool our money together and make bets on Poly market, bro. Like, holy shit. I'm sorry. This is too good. It's pretty accurate. That's the thing. You know, if it wasn't so accurate, I wouldn't consider it. I'm not a gambler. I'm just not. But bro, I need money bad. Like, I'm thinking about it, bro. I'm thinking about
On
it.
whether the Ayatollah will be deposed, and they're now saying there's a 24% chance. So pretty.
I mean, it's not great. I wish it was higher. By January 31st. I mean, so the rhetoric around Maduro really ramped up in December, and then he was out before December ended. I'm pretty sure.
Much a 1 in 4 chance that the Ayatollah goes here. From a military perspective, given the scale of these protests, which might well be unprecedented, we can't be entirely sure because the internet's been shut down and footage is scarce. But if it is unprecedented, do you think we're beginning to see the beginning of the end here of this regime?
Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year to everyone. I'm optimistic about it this time. We've seen it before. Excuse me. And like Chuck Todd said, it's kind of up to the media how much they're going to report on it, because we only know what we're told from over there. At least, you know, like the first guest, I don't speak Persian or Iranian or Farsi or Urdu, so I'm going to say it in English so I don't even confuse myself. But in the past, when they see the Iranians rising up, when they get to that point, for some reason, our media blocks that out. And then it seems to me, because I'm not there, and if I'm not there, I can only, you know, go by what I hear or read. Then they crack down hard, they kill people, and then it goes back to business as usual. This time, what the Iranians have seen is that we bombed them out, and we hit them pretty hard. So
rough.
hopefully, regardless of the media blackout or what our media chooses to say, the Iranian people know that we will support them. The biggest problem that we had, one of the major problems that we had in Iraq, the biggest problem being we went into Iraq, was we immediately disbanded the Ba'ath Party. And although they looked bad because they were doing what Saddam Hussein wanted, they're doing that because they want to keep their heads on their own shoulders. They're going to do what they need to do to survive and keep their family alive. We got rid of them, and then foreign fighters came in, and obviously we know the Civil War started. It was chaos for a long, long time. Right now, what's happening there, if the Iranians know that we're going to help, but then our media backs out and they're not sure about us, who knows what they're going to do? But I do know that foreign fighters are now going into Iran to try to help, be that the Mahdi army, who the Shias, or is it Hezbollah, even Hamas. I mean, they were getting funding through the Iranians, but I believe they're Sunni, and I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But I think the bottom line, and this is me just trying to be an honest broker, I think we should do as allies everything we can to support the Iranian people and help them get what they want. This is not Rob O'Neill from the United States. It's not my decision, but I would love to help the Iranian people, because I think everyone would agree they've been beaten down and oppressed for almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, Pierce, can I quickly add something here?
Chuck,
just a piece of reporting that I got while overseas is that there's some thought that the current president, okay, and I may mess up his name, Pezeshkian, he's turned out to be at least rhetorically more moderate than some expected. And I had a source who's had somebody close to him indicating he thinks he can be the Iranian Gorbachev. Meaning, and that's a real, so if you actually ask strategically, what could the United States do? Can it start to find people that are within the regime who want to help get rid of the regime? Right. Look, and who's to say that this even worked out as that well? But you do, in some cases, without Gorbachev, does the Soviet Union fall as cleanly as it fell? Right. And I think so. When you're asking, like, how do we deal with the next day? I think finding out whether indeed the Iranian president wants to play a role here or not is something that's the type of thing our intelligence community, in theory, should be able to help with.
Today's show is sponsored by Oxford Natural, makers of the Optimum.
I mean, what do you guys think? Get me, tell me what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys think, because I think you guys know where I stand on this, but if we go in, right? Ads right in there. Yeah. Tell me what you guys think here, because I don't want an Iraqi situation. But strikes in and out, I don't see the problem here. I mean, the Iranian people want their government toppled. It's very clear. And they're not going to be able to do it on their own. There's no way they can do it. They don't have the guns. They don't have the infrastructure. They have organization, and that's about it. And I don't want innocent people. I mean, we're talking a level of death and oppression, on a scale that is just, it's so egregious. You know what I mean? And I just, you let this go on. I mean, more people have been killed in this way in the last 50 years since they've been in power than, and I know 50 years is a long time, but it's like, how much do the casualties have to rise and the death has to rise over the course of decades for it to, I mean, it's already surpassed what the Nazis did over 50 years. I get it's a lot longer period of time, but it's just...
It's been on Uncensored a few times.
Thor says, I am completely uneducated on the whole thing in the East. I can know the entire history of the area. Won't solve a 1K long conflict. Oh, 1,000 year. I stand by the idea America needs to stop the practice of building nations. I agree with you, Thor. I really do. Never works, and any person placed there by us is citizen. Well, it's not entirely true. What you were saying was absolutely true, it didn't work in Iraq, obviously, or Afghanistan. You know where it did work? Japan. World War II. It absolutely worked. You know where else it worked? Germany. I'm just saying. It does work. I don't like the idea of it, especially in a place where, oh yeah, we built their government ourselves. We told them, you have to be a democracy. You have to depose the emperor. He has to denounce his divinity, step down from office. He's now just a figurehead, like constitutional democratic monarchy. All this stuff. Like, oh yeah, we forced them to have a government the way we wanted it structured. Let there be no doubt. Like, after we bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, there's no, 100%, we're like, no, fuck you, you attacked Pearl Harbor, and now we're going to make you pay. And we did, and we said, you're going to do this, and then they did that. We can get into all the details on how and how long and whatever, but we absolutely, it's not a figurehead. We restructured their government from the ground up. All new people. Forced them to say, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have elections, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, and you're going to do this, and you're going to be a democracy, and you're going to have these kinds of policies. You have to demilitarize. We took away all of their military, and now they have it back, but that took decades, almost a century now, for them to get what they have now. But we absolutely forced policy onto them. We absolutely did. That's just an undisputed fact. It didn't work in Afghanistan or Iraq, and fundamentally it's because we went about it in a different way, number one. And number two, we got entrenched in a way that was just... Then once Obama got in there, and like the 8 years after President Bush was in, it could have worked, and then we had really bad policy when he signed the withdrawal treaty. We didn't withdraw from Japan for and we're still in Japan. We still have military bases in Japan. They're one of our strongest and closest allies because we forced them to be. Now, over the decades, culturally, we said, here's what you're going to propagandize to your own people, freedom, democracy, all the good things about America. And we said, you're going to be like us. And we forced it on them, but over time, that worked out really well. Japan is one of the most aligned countries in government-wise, policy-wise, constitutionally, to say the UK or America as it gets, right? They don't have the oppressive freedom of speech laws the UK now has, thank God. But yeah, they're pretty much as aligned to American values as it gets. And we forced it on them, but they like it. We said you have to like it, and they didn't have a choice, right? But they ended up voluntarily adopting that over, a generation. It took about a generation for them to just absolutely love it. And even the generation that we forced on them, a lot of them actually agreed with it, right? Because obviously, freedom and democracy speaks for itself. And they wouldn't have it any other way now. Their own policy was to not have a military. They were allowed to have a defense force. It took 10 years for them to have a self-defense force, right? So anyhow, and in Iraq, they were one of I think 7 nations that provided reinforcement and support troops groups. For the first time, they were allowed to do that, right? Post 9/11, Japan was allowed to help U.S. allies and the U.S. in military operations post 9/11. That's the first time their military left their home nation. So that's 2001. Think of that. So for a very long time, they weren't allowed to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they had to earn our trust. And they did. And they should have. I mean, they've done spectacularly. They're a stalwart U.S. ally. I mean, they love them. They really do. They are a very good ally. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to be educated in the Middle East to know that once this country had freedom of religion and freedom of speech under the Shah, they had Western values, as this Shah surely, absolutely was a propped up government regime of the CIA. Yes. And also everyone loved it except for the jihadist theocracy that's in power now. And they managed to take over. Mostly it was because we left them defenseless. It's one of those things, right? Like, but if the people back nowadays, it's just different. It's just different. There's so many millions of people crying out for freedom, for liberty, for anti-oppression, and there's Christians being murdered, and there's even their own Iranian people. I mean, Iranian Christians, Iranian Jews, Iranian, even Muslims are being murdered if they dissent, right? If they dissent from the theocracy, which is a religious government of extremist Islam, if they dissent from that, they are murdered, imprisoned and murdered. And, I mean, look, it's the same as North Korea or China. The reason we don't do it there is because we don't want to poke the bear, but there is no bear in Iran. They have nothing. They are nothing compared to the U.S. We could easily, one call from the president, and we could just goodbye, they're gone, and then we dip out, and then we leave it up to the people. You know what I'm saying? We hand over the military to the people that are protesting in the streets now and say, you're in charge. It's up to you. You have your chance at freedom and liberty. Now do something about it. I say we do that. We don't try to, you know, if they want help on, okay, give us some legal structures, give us something to start with. We can send over paperwork and things on how to do stuff, right? And then that's it. That's it. We leave it there. We don't have troops on the ground. We don't have military bases. We give them their chance at freedom and liberty, and if they
Mohammed Morandi, Professor.
Sorry about that, guys.
Tehran.
My headset died. You guys tell me if that sounds reasonable, right? So we go in there, we give them their shot, we give them their chance at freedom, democracy, and liberty. We take out the regime, we hand over the military stuff to them, to the people protesting in the streets, right? And then we dip out. We're gone. No American casualties, no bases, no troops on the ground, none of that. We're just like, look, you want your chance at liberty, freedom, and democracy? Okay, we're just going to take out this regime above the sky. We're going to do a drive-by, and we're done. You guys want that chance? And then we disempower the government with a couple of precision strikes, right? And then, enable them to basically take over the arms of the regime's military by literally taking out their supply chain. We just couple of bombs. This is like maybe a couple 100,000 K in military tech that we're dropping. That's literally a penny. That's nothing. That's nothing at all. We get This is free training for our military, basically. We have to test all the time to keep our military sharp in the first place, right? So, we just take out the bad guys for them and say, here you go. You're done. Do you have your here? If they fuck it up, they fuck it up. We give them their shot, right? We give them their shot. We give them their chance. You tell me.
On university.
Said the cat. Ultimate Crusader says, I think that sounds like a plan as long as there are no American casualties. Agreed. Yeah, no troops on the ground, no bases, nothing like Iraq. We just go in, we do the strikes, right? We give them their chance. Like, here you go. This is what you called and wanted us to do. They named a street after Trump, begging for him to come do this. Okay, so we do that. And if they fuck it up, they fuck it up. We get free training. Sounds good, Thor says, over on Kick. One of my original moderators. What a guy. I love this guy. Sounds good. He says, then leave UK to be its babysitter. They interfered first. Their problem. Yeah, UK and Israel can be the babysitters. Yeah. I don't want to be a babysitter either, brother. America first. They need our tech to go in and do the precision strike. Okay, fine. Boys, we have a training. We got a training mission for you. Our practice target: Iranian government. Okay, sounds good. We do a flyby. And our Top Gun, you know what I'm saying? And Tom Cruise goes in, does his mission, and we're done. Like, okay, here you go. Country's yours. Don't fuck it up. And if they fuck it up, fine. But at least we give them the chance, right? We give them the chance to have the liberty and freedom that they're asking for, that they're begging for. Booyah! We found an XP farm. Oh, Thor over on Kick says that. Booyah! We found an XP farm. Good to go? Brother.
Supporter.
I'm Oh, that's so epic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm dying here. Oh, Thor the Hammer. Yeah, true. I love it. Yeah, Elrich. I agree. Bro, we found an XP farm. Yes, dude. Yes. Oh, these are mobs. These are trash mobs. We just take them out, bro. We clean them out for the boss fight. We leave the boss fight to the Iranian people, right? Because the boss fight is building their own government. Look, we'll send them some papers. Here's how you do it. A little tutorial in the video game, right? We give them we just send them down. Here's how you build a democracy, and then we, PDF tutorial. I love it. Oh.
Of the regime. Welcome back to Uncensored.
Okay, hold up.
With the code on Uncensored a few times. Mohammed Morandi, professor at Tehran University, a supporter of the regime. Welcome back to Uncensored, Mohammed Morandi. I appreciate you coming on. What is your assessment of what is happening on the ground in Iran?
Well, first of all, when you say a supporter of the regime,
Thor, that reminds me. You guys are all, most of you, I think, are followers and viewers of Ember Paradox. And what is the guy that makes those videos with the eyes in the mouth that do the talking for like the B-52 bomber and the different countries and nations? I bet he's got a video on this. I bet he's got a video. HLC? Yeah. I guarantee bro has a video. I bet I've seen the one about Maduro, but I bet you anything bro has a video. Habitual line crosser. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. I bet you anything bro's gonna come out with an Iranian video on this. He's got to, right? Come on, this is gold mine stuff.
You're framing it in a certain way. I assume you are a supporter of the British or the American regime. But it's obvious what happened. We had currency manipulation last week. The currency fell 30-40%. It was carried out by the United States, forcing neighboring countries not to cooperate with the Iranians over the currency. Then we had peaceful protests among business people. And there were a few thousand people in 2-3 different cities. There was no violence. There were no arrests. Nothing happened. Then the next day, we had more protests, roughly the same size, I guess. I don't remember exactly. Then we had infiltration, and we had violent rioters. And that was the beginning of extreme violence, which peaked on Thursday night. And we know that Pompeo, the former head of the CIA, said that Mossad is on the ground with the rioters.
Oh boy. We have a big propagandist here, boys. Hang on. He's definitely pro-current Iranian regime. Woo! Oh boy.
Of Mossad in a
pro-murder propagandist. We love to see it. Let's see what he does.
Persian statement. They said that they are on the ground. And the most interesting thing of all is that late on Thursday night, during the height of the riots, and roughly 100 officers of the law were murdered. A couple of them burnt alive, beheaded, head smashed. We had a nurse who was burned alive in a clinic. The clinic was burnt down. We had many buses, ambulances, and fire engines destroyed, tens of each. I'm not sure about ambulances, but I know tens of fire engines and public buses and private property. But the point is that late on Thursday night or early in the morning, they cut off the internet, and suddenly everything died down.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Get rid of the Elon Musk internet, the Starlink, the only line of freedom that they have. That's their emergency line, guys. Like, it's their only link to the outside world.
The reason? Because all these groups, these small groups, violent groups that were spread out in different cities and different parts of big cities, they could no longer communicate with their bosses abroad. So if it was really spontaneous, the riots would have continued. But now we've had 4 days of quiet. And yesterday, we had massive anti-riot protests across the country. And I asked your producer to show footage of the protests in Tehran against the rioters. And this is from the middle of the footage. This is Engelab Square. It goes from Imam Hussein Square to Azadi Square, from Engelab Square south to Imam Khomeini Square. That is millions of people. That is huge. Anyone can look on the map or use DeepSeek or some other AI app and check what sort of distance.
Use DeepSeek, boys. The Chinese propagandist AI that won't even let you say the word Taiwan. Use DeepSeek, boys. That'll tell you the truth. Oh my God.
This is a helicopter. But
right,
just a few hours ago.
Just to stop you there, Professor O'May, just to be clear, that's footage you've supplied. We've been unable to independently verify it, so it is what it is. Clearly, there are people, it seems from all the independent reports I've read, who are... Okay, so Goldie, for example, one of our panelists is saying that footage is from 2020. So we don't know what you're showing us there. You accept that?
No, that's a dishonest take. That footage is very clear. This misinformation is...
That footage is very clear, guys. It's the footage is from 2020. No, that's dishonest. It's very clear footage. He's not denying that it's from 2020. Holy crap.
being produced by the West, and the reporter who was on that helicopter, whose face is there, he came on television, showed the footage. I was at the protest.
Misa says I use DeepSeek all the time, just not for politics. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I like using ChatGPT mostly. I also use Grok. I could never use it's just not as good, DeepSeek. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this thing literally will correct and replace words you use. You code though? Yeah, no, vibe coding. I mean, let's be honest. Grok and ChatGPT are just phenomenal at that, honestly. But DeepSeek probably is too. I won't discount that at all. If we're talking about just coding. Anything political though, yeah. I mean, it's China. What do you expect?
There were millions of people. What you are trying to do, just like you did during the Israeli regime's attack on Iran.
Well, I have a Misa on Kick over here, who I've made a moderator, by the way. She's fantastic. She also has a streaming account over on Kick, so make sure to follow her, guys. Well, I have a subscription to OpenCode. It's better than DS. I don't know what DS is. Oh, DeepSeek. Oh, OpenCode is better than DeepSeek. I see. I see. Yeah, I do have a subscription to ChatGPT. Guys, give me your tier list on AI apps. I mean, honestly, what are your guys' favorite AIs? If you use them, if you don't like AI, that's fine. But yeah, let me know what you guys use. I'm curious to see what everybody's using today.
Is you are trying to help war, because
oh, Pierce is trying to help war, people.
Carried out that blitzkrieg attack as we were negotiating with them. You invited me and started bad-mouthing Iran. Why? Because you and many others like you.
No, I didn't bad-mouth Iran. Sorry, just to be clear.
Oh, yes, you did.
Just to be clear. Hang on. Professor, just to be clear, I never bad-mouthed Iran. I bad-mouthed the Iranian regime, which I think is one of the most malevolent regimes in the world. That's not bad-mouthing the country of Iran or the Iranian people. Now, I want to bring in Goldie Gamari because she wants to...
I mean, is bad-mouthing the current government the same as the country? Kinda, to me. The country's both people and the government. If you're referring to country, you're talking about country. Well, I would define that as both the people and the government. So, I mean, and also Pierce is right. He was bad-mouthing the regime, not the country. But it's half the same. I don't know.
Directly challenge. She wants to directly challenge what you have said.
One-on-one.
Yes,
you said
that's
it's
fine.
A one-on-one.
That's fine.
Your producer.
But you've accused her.
You did not allow me to continue.
Fine, but you have.
Your producer said. Producer said
yes.
It's a one-on-one between you and me.
Yes.
You're escaping the debate.
Hang on, Goldie. Hang on, Goldie.
Uh-oh. We got a wild one.
Hang on, please. Don't all talk at once. Professor Morandi.
We got a mini boss.
Goldie, please let me handle this. Professor Morandi, here's why I brought Goldie back into the conversation with you.
No, so you're being dishonest.
Because she says to us, have you watched that footage? It is actually not what you have said it is. Goldie, tell the professor what you believe that footage is.
That footage is from Qasem Soleimani's funeral in 2020. That is not footage from today. That is 100% propaganda. The Islamic regime, they are liars, they are murderers, they are thieves. I don't even know how he has access to the internet right now. The internet is shut off. Where is he communicating?
He has access to the internet because he's pro the current Iranian regime.
From?
Okay, now, Pierce, I just want to remind...
Bro, he's caught red-handed, brother. We got a Roach King right here, and not the good kind.
I just want to remind you that your producer said this is a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And like on previous occasions, you do not abide by what you say you'll do.
Well,
But
you
just
made a
to
statement.
respond-
You made
but
a
just to
statement and gave us
respond-
footage, which
but
one of our
just to
panelists has
respond-
directly challenged.
Bro.
Every screaming retard is down to heavy hand. Yeah, put 'em in the box.
That's all I have to say
But
about this
just
guy.
to respond, in the General Qasem Soleimani's funeral, the bodies were on trucks, and there are no trucks in this crowd. And the crowd goes from Imam Hussein Square, which is to the top, towards the top. The crowd here goes all the way to Imam Hussein Square. The bodies never went there. The bodies began, the funeral procession began at the University of Tehran. So the path of the General Soleimani funeral and his companions was not towards Imam Hussein. And here, where are the trucks? Where's the funeral procession? Because it was not just him. There were a number of people who were murdered. Don't pretend. No one can pretend that the rallies yesterday, which took place across Iran, in Mashhad, in Tabriz,
All
in
been
Maran,
debunked. All been
in
debunked.
Esfahan.
The rally, the footage rally, all been debunked.
This woman.
Bro, so Elrich over on Kick says, this guy, he is a pro-terror Islamist extremist. It's obvious, yeah.
This Pierce, if you next, I won't come again on your show because every time you're dishonest.
Oh man, he's so mad. He's so mad.
You won't be able to come
every
again on
time
the
you
show
lie,
because when Iran
and
is
you
free,
bring-
we're going to get
and
it.
you
You're gonna go
bring-
to jail.
No,
you
to be
bring
fair,
this
to be
thing-
fair,
I have my issues with Pierce too. Let's be honest, but I mean, he's a he leans slightly in favor of like middle left. He doesn't like any of the woke stuff, which I applaud. But he does lean in like because he's in the UK, and I don't know. There's some times where I feel like he's I don't know. It's
to be
hard.
fair, let me explain. Let me.
He's about as fair as it gets. I think sometimes when it comes to Gaza and Israel, he's not as fair, but he's as fair as I think somebody from the UK can be.
You have the
Explain.
blood
You
of
bring
thousands
Goldie,
of
let me
innocent
explain.
people on your hands right now.
Goldie,
You
I will
bring
come
these-
back to Goldie and the panel in a moment. I'll go back to
You
one-on-one.
bring-
I will go
you
back to
bring
one.
these regime
Professor,
things
I will go back to
propagandist on
one-on-one
yourself.
with you now. She wanted to directly challenge that footage. She's done so, and you have responded. That is perfectly legitimate journalism from where I'm sitting.
No, that's not acceptable, Pierce. In any case, just hours
Are you hearing this? That's not acceptable for you to challenge my propaganda.
ago, the BBC was showing the footage of the protests across Iran against the rioters yesterday and talking about an uprising, implying dishonestly that these people on the streets who are protesting against the rioters are in fact supporters of the rioters. This is how it works in the West.
Well, the best
That's how
way,
you
the best
prepare
way,
grounds
surely.
for war.
All right, Professor, the
You
best
bring
way,
in people
Professor,
like you
the
bring in
Professor,
people like this woman
Professor, the best way
and
to
talk about
Professor,
just one moment.
the
Pierce.
best way to clear this up is to allow journalists to do their job freely in Iran, turn the internet back on, let everybody work out for themselves what is really happening. But when a regime shuts off the internet, what it's really doing is not trying to stop communication between protesters, it's trying to stop the truth about what it is doing in response being communicated.
Sorry, I was muted. We are going to be rating Ember Paradox on. If I can do it on Twitch, can I do it on Twitch? I don't know if I can do it on Twitch. I don't have enough viewers, but I can do it on Kick here soon.
To the world, and what it's doing is murdering thousands of Iranians who are protesting. They've admitted killing 2,000. Reports are that it may be as many as 12,000 or more. We're seeing footage here of body bags everywhere, and that is why the regime is turning off the internet. It's
Stay tuned, guys. We're going
not out
in
of
there
some great
pretty soon.
altruistic, well, we just, don't want these people communicating. It's so that we can kill them and the rest of the world can't see what we're doing. Stupid when that day comes. But I appreciate you joining.
This is all propaganda. I don't want to listen.
Thank you very much
anymore.
indeed for joining me.
Lies, Piers.
I'll go back to the panel.
Piers,
thank
history
you.
will remember your lies.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure they'll remember some have had enough of this bullshit and they're rising up. It's going to be that. And it doesn't happen. Iran doesn't have the capability to respond in the way that you talk. It's all bluff. It's all bluster. And what it seems to me, Professor, now, is the people of Iran have had enough of this bullshit and they're rising up. And as the German Chancellor says, I believe this is the beginning of the end of that regime. And puppets like you that have helped prop it up are going to look very stupid.
Oh! Holy oh my... W. Pierce! Can I get W's in the chat for Pierce? Let's be honest here. That's a big W. Holy crap. Absolutely.
Thank you very much indeed for joining
your lies, Piers.
I'll go back to the panel.
Piers, history will remember your lies.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
I'm sure they'll remember someone's lies, and it won't be me. But thank you.
Remember your lies.
Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Dang, bro. You guys, that was pretty epic. All right, we are going to raid Ember Paradox. I hope you guys have enjoyed this sort of long rant of mine and my ideas behind the whole Iranian thing. And Pierce, thanks everybody on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Kick, especially the Kick audience. I love you guys. You're fantastic. You all are big, huge winners in my view. Elrich, Magical Misa, Thor, Sid, everybody here. I love you all. We are going in to, there we go, Ember Paradox. All right, in 5 seconds. So I really hope you guys all have a great afternoon. Until next time, peace.
Cap the Thing instead of Mr. Fantastic. Huh? Why have him instead of Reed or Sue?